the new studio.
I've been feeling like a shark in a shrimp tank. Big fish, small pond in the shrimp tank. When it take a swim, only option is to win. In the murky water, not a thought of giving in. Welcome to the shrimp tank. Want to put it all together, this is big thanks. Doing big things. We ain't in the same league. Running a campaign, Roadie 2016. Like a phone to die, putting me in charge. I'm a general from the front, I'ma lead the charge. Like a federal, fell on my lap never. Going hard as ever.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another episode here on the Shrimp Tank, powered by Celsius Beverage. This is your first time tuning in. You catch all these amazing episodes up on our website, shrimptankpodcast.com. Kevin actually and I just met right before today's episode, and he told me we are the first podcast in the world that has a live student audience and it's built into the curriculum. Can you guys believe that? Kevin, can you believe that? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
There would be a lot of other colleges doing this.
Yeah, I've heard that before. Welcome back to the show. We got all kinds of stuff going on here at Florida Atlantic. The Entrepreneurship Bootcamp starts next week, and we got applications open for the Runway Accelerator program. So if you're a founder out there and you want to take your business to the next phase, definitely get your applications in. It's a great opportunity, a ton of resources, and you got kind of a week left. So get them in now.
For sure. Okay, like we do every single week, Kevin. Do the honors. What does our guest Christine have to do today? First 60 seconds of this show.
Yeah. Well, we didn't even introduce our guest. We do have Christine Curran, the founder and CEO of Dining Empire Holdings. And the first thing we want you to do is something we want all our students to do, and that's deliver an excellent elevator pitch. So let's hear yours. 60 seconds.
All right. Hey, guys. I'm Christine Curran. I am the founder of the Dining Empire, which is a food, lifestyle, travel, and celebrity reality TV show network. I'm also the executive producer for Dining Divas and Destination Divas, which have been on WeTV and Travel Channel, and now currently on Apple TV, Google, and Prime. I help other entrepreneurs and other authority figures build more authority by putting their stories out there on different networks from Pluto, Peacock, Tubi, Freevee, LG, Samsung, and more, and gain more authority in their industry. So that's what I really focus on, is people who are already at the top that need just that extra level of elevation and authority in their industry. So we've done TV shows for interior designers, for restaurateurs, they're very like Kardashian behind the scene type lifestyle shows.
Okay, Kevin. I think we have another successful pitch.
Yeah.
Right? Last week.
Very
got a
interesting.
9.5. I'm getting another 9.5. She nailed it.
Yeah. All right. Are we going to jump into this game show
We
sorts
are.
today?
Let's do it. This is the first week where we have students coming on up, and part of their assignment is to run a game show live. And today we also have a student sitting in. So let's talk about the student before we jump into the game show.
Yeah. Introduce yourself, Justice.
My name's Justice. I'm in the class.
Nice.
Killed it. Not exactly an elevator pitch, but pretty good. And a
Short
special
and to the point. That's what's important these days.
I want to give a special shout out to this student team this week too. They had a relatively short notice. They also have to go first, and I know a couple of them weren't too happy about it, but I bet they've done a phenomenal job. Let's find out.
Hey, that's what entrepreneurship's about. Being put to the test quickly. Go for it.
Hi, my name is Sophia. I'm going to be hosting your game today. And for the big reveal, we're doing 2 truths and a lie, but business edition. So are you guys ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So for the first one, the first company to ever reach a market value of $1 trillion was Apple. Microsoft was founded by Bill Gates and Paul Allen in 1975. And Google was originally called Backrub before being renamed in 1998. Which one do you guys think is a lie?
Google's a lie.
Anyone else?
I had the same thought.
I was thinking definitely the background.
Well, you did not ring in on time, so that means if it's right, I am the winner. Do you want to go for it?
I
steal?
I almost want to grab number 2.
The Microsoft one?
Yeah.
Alrighty. For the lie, it was Google was not called Backrub. It was just an early name, but it has been the official name Google since 1998.
Okay.
So for the
point.
next one, Tesla was founded by Elon Musk in 2003. And the first company... Whoa.
Was that the whole statement?
That was the first statement.
Okay, that one's fake.
I mean, you're right. So
Okay, what are the other ones?
I don't
Sorry,
know if we
I
need to go
cheated
through
at the
them.
game.
The other ones were the first company to become a publicly traded entity was the Dutch East India Company in 1602. And the first business to trade on the New York Stock Exchange was the Bank of New York in 1792. But you are right. Tesla was not founded.
Tesla.
Nice.
Tesla was not founded by Elon Musk in 2003. He joined the company later in 2004, and it was actually founded by Martin Eberhard and Mark Tarpenning. So for the next one, hopefully it's not as easy as the second one was. Coca-Cola was originally created as a medicine for headaches, or this one's mostly about Coca-Cola and Pepsi. The Coca-Cola secret formula is stored in a vault in Atlanta, Georgia, or Pepsi was invented first before Coca-Cola.
The Pepsi one.
That's correct. Pepsi was not invented before
Oh.
Coca-Cola.
Nice. Justice is on the big
It's
board.
on the board.
Coca-Cola was created in 1886, while Pepsi came out in 1893. So for the fourth round, Amazon started as a bookstore before expanding into other product categories. The first product was ever sold on Amazon was a camera, and Jeff Bezos founded Amazon in 1994 in his garage.
Number 2.
Number 2, that is correct. It's a lie. The first product ever sold on Amazon was a book, not a camera. Round
Ooh,
5.
Four-way tie right now.
Mhm. The company with the largest market capitalization in the world is Apple. The Walmart company generates more revenue annually than Apple, and Microsoft is the second largest company by market capitalization in the world.
Hard one.
Is it the Microsoft one? Is it a lie?
Yes, that is a lie. Microsoft
My
is
brother didn't work.
Microsoft is not the second largest company by market capitalization. Amazon holds that spot, with Microsoft being in third place. So round 6. Nike's iconic swoosh logo was designed by a graphics design student, Carolyn Davidson. The first Nike store opened in 1964 under a different name, and Nike was originally founded as a running shoe company by Michael Jordan.
3.
3 is a lie. Nike was not founded by Michael Jordan. It was founded by Phil Knight and Bill Bowerman. Number 7. Facebook was originally designed as a social network for college students before opening to the general public. Facebook was founded by Mark Zuckerberg in 2004, originally called The Facebook, and Facebook was originally designed for business networking like LinkedIn.
3.
I can't even tell who went first.
She got it. She got it.
3 is a lie. Facebook was not designed for business networking. It was originally created for Harvard students and later expanded to other universities. Number 8. Tesla has never made a profit until the year 2020. The first Tesla electric car was launched in 2008 called the Roadster, and Tesla was originally founded by Elon Musk in 2003.
2.
2? That is incorrect.
It's 3.
That's
We
three.
already
It's
did
It's
this
three?
We
one.
literally just talked about this.
It is 3. Tesla was not
Ooh.
founded by Elon Musk in 2003. Musk joined as a major investor in 2004. Number 9. Target has more stores than Walmart in the United States. Walmart has more than 11,000 stores in over 20 countries. And Walmart is the largest private employer in the world.
1.
1 is correct. Target does not have more stores than Walmart in the US. Walmart has around 4,700 stores, while Target has approximately 1,900. Number 10. The first iPhone was released in 2006. Apple's App Store was launched in 2008, and Apple has the most profitable quarter in history, reaching $123.9 billion in revenue in 2021.
2.
2 is incorrect. Does anyone want to try?
3.
3 is incorrect.
It's
Take the
1.
point.
Is it one?
It's
Is
one.
it one?
I got 1. I got my money on
The
that.
first iPhone was released in 2007,
Good
not
guess.
2006. Round 11. This is the second to last round. Amazon was founded by Jeff Bezos in 1994. Apple's first product was a personal computer called the Apple I, and Tesla's first car was called the Tesla Roadster, and it was released in 2004.
2.
2 is incorrect. Does anyone want to try?
Is it one?
1 is incorrect. Does anyone want to try?
3.
3.
Back on board.
The Tesla Roadster was actually released in 2008, not 2004.
Did you just say that?
Yeah,
too?
yeah.
Man, I'm just
Nobody-
not listening.
Oh, yeah,
Nobody
I
was
think you're
listening.
right.
That was the one I got incorrect.
It's hard under the lights, man. It's
So much
tough.
pressure,
The
dude.
pressure of
Who's
the
winning
light.
so far? Let's check.
I think it's a tie between them two.
Let's check
Alright,
because
don't they
this is
both
going to
have four?
be.
I
This
think
is
it's
going
a
to
tie.
be.
Breaking moment.
Student versus guest.
Is there a
Student
tie?
versus- student versus guest.
Alrighty.
Okay,
Let's
me
see.
and Kevin are going to stay out of this one. It's between you two for
Oh.
the tiebreaker.
This is the last question. Alrighty.
Are you smarter than an FU student? Let's go.
Oh, come on.
Pressure is on.
I don't think so.
Pressure's on. Okay, let's see. Walmart is the world's largest private employer. Facebook was originally called The Facebook and launched in 2005. And Microsoft was founded by Bill Gates and Paul Allen in 1975. Who is listening? Is the best question.
One.
Yeah.
Who went first?
There you go.
Is it 3?
It is not 3.
One.
One? It is not 1. Go, someone go fast.
They cannot win.
Go
Go
ahead,
for
jump
it.
in,
Go for
jump
it. 2? Wait. He's onto it.
2.
It is 2.
The winner.
How did you know?
The winner.
Yes, Facebook was originally launched as the Facebook in 2004 and not 2005. So who's the winner? Christine. Wait.
Oh,
But the
Christine,
winner
did
of
you
the
win?
question.
No, but you were up though. We weren't
Of
talking.
that question.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh.
shoot.
Congratulations.
Way to go.
Woo.
Justice, thanks for joining us today on the
My
show.
pleasure.
Yes. Great game show. Okay. Christine, this segment of the show is all about learning about your background as an entrepreneur. So let's
All
kick things
right.
off. You know, what happened those first couple of years running your first business to where you are today? Kind of give us the journey.
Oh man, what a journey it's been. So I have never worked for anybody. Straight out of college, I started my first company, Fort Lickerdale Entertainment, and I was a model, actress, TV host. This was like in 2008, right? When the
Right after the
when things-
iPhone came
yeah.
out, we just learned in 2007.
Things were going kind of crazy back then, and so I was taking part-time gigs and making more money than you could make working for somebody else, and then people started asking me for more models, so I was like, oh, I'll start a company, and I started booking more models, and then I ended up starting a shop girl company. Ended up being the #1 shop girl company in the entire United States. I had a LA production company fly in and shoot a TV show about us. It was called the Jello Shot Girls. And the journey with that and how I was able to do that, I was actually very creative. I was able to hire a lawyer and find a gray area where the Jello shots were considered 51% food. So I was able to get a catering license and bring Jello shots into a 401c establishment like Mansion, Blue Martinis, all of the nightclubs around South Florida. I'm actually a native here. I was born and raised here. I went to Deerfield, Buck Pride. Any Deerfield people in the house? No? Okay. Anyway, so I did that and I did really, really well in my 20s. I also had a baby, so very young. I was in college when I had my child, my daughter. And so I was able to make a really good living as a single mom and also support other single moms and college girls because I understood the struggles. The struggles are real, right? Doing all your homework, trying to make a living. So I was able to provide a really nice income for a lot of women.
Wow, that's a great racket with the Jello shots, flying in under food to avoid some of the constraints associated with serving liquor. That's phenomenal.
Thank you.
So one of the things all the students in this class have to do by the end of the semester, one way or another, is build out kind of a whole business model. It sounds like you've done that a bunch of times. You want to talk to us about your current business model? How does it work financially? How do you generate returns? What's kind of the strategy around the production?
Absolutely. Well, I always like to do very complex things. So I always create my own projects and then I learn and I figure out how to monetize them. That's been my stick for 20 years. And so with the TV shows, when I wanted to do the Dining Divas show, which I started about 8 years ago, it was at a time that the Housewives was at an all-time high. And I thought it was just ridiculous that these women are fighting on TV and throwing good wine at each other. So I was like, drink the wine, ladies. Okay. So I decided to do a show that was women empowerment. We would drink the wine. So I started Divas, which stands for Driven, Inspiring, Visionary, Authentic Sisterhoods. We've redefined the word diva to be a positive impact TV show. And we bring different women from all walks of life together and we highlight food, travel, and lifestyle. So we bring a lot of brand partners onto the show. So everything from what I'm wearing to my purse to what I'm eating to Celsius or a lot of cocktails. We get a lot of creative cocktails. So we'll have a lot of like liquor sponsors. Similar to my first business. Everything you do in business, by the way, will snowball into what you continue to do. And that's what makes you very unique and creative as you get higher into entrepreneurship. So things I learned in my 20s, I was able to implement into my 30s and so on. So
that's interesting. I've often told founders and entrepreneurs, if you build something that people genuinely want, that they really like, we can always figure out a way to monetize it later. And I haven't been proven wrong yet. There's a good chance that at some point I could, but if you can do that, if you can create value, there's typically a way to monetize it. And it sounds like you found several ways to do that.
Yes. And then we also monetize our shows, not only through the sponsorships to produce them, but then on the back end with the networks. We also have an app in the Apple and Google Play Store, the Dining Empire. So you can watch some of our previous shows there. We also help other content creators in that space to be able to get monetization through distribution as well.
Can you share more of the good, the bad, the ugly, right? So often people, want to be part of this industry, but then, they join it and they have a tough time, right? So most people quit, right? So can you share more on that end?
Sure. I mean, one of the reasons why I create my own projects and monetize them is because I have creative control. I think the entertainment industry can get very ugly when you have to succumb to other people's rules and things that they want you to do. And even just when I was very young and I was doing a lot of the auditioning, I mean, even that, just the amount of time getting ready and learning scripts and then going and auditioning against 400 other people. Like if you ever get a role, it's never because you weren't good enough. It's because of connections or just personal preference, right? So a lot of times you would just waste so much, and that's very stressful, and it causes a lot of negative emotions, like, am I not good enough? So making my own projects is something that, first of all, keeps my peace of mind, and it's also something I have control over, on what the narrative is, which I think is a biggest problem in entertainment, is people having to do things they don't feel comfortable with, or just spending a lot of energy and spinning their wheels trying to figure out how to make it.
What do you think the future holds for entertainment, right? We're seeing a lot of a transition to really, really short form. They talk about the kind of like streaming wars, right? But most people don't realize that the largest viewership on the planet right now, minutes per person, people per minute, is on YouTube, right? And we're seeing a huge influx in TikTok, as well as shopping that takes place on TikTok. What do you think the future looks like?
No, I mean, it's definitely going that direction. So now they're making movies that are in 1-minute clips, and then you watch them on your own time. So that is in their vertical. So that is definitely a direction that we're looking at moving into, and also taking some of our older content and creating those same clips.
And we should blame them, right? It's short attention span.
It's all your fault. No.
Now our movies are a minute. I mean, I was getting tired of those, Marvel ones that were 3 hours, but 1 minute? I don't know.
I think there's still going to always be a place for long form content. I think for me personally, I'm on my phone all day long doing social media marketing, answering emails. So for me, I want to sit on the couch and watch a big TV and get away from the little phone. So I think it depends on the people, and I think how much problems we're having with our eyes and being on the phone and our necks being down all the time, because you're trying to watch shows or movies and you're like laying on the couch, So I think it's going to have hit its bubble too, and I think there's going to be a little bit of a reset on that. But the short form is important. I think you should have both.
Nice.
What about funding, right? Is it project based, where it's like, okay, we're going to create this show, you have the idea drawn up, and then you raise capital, for example, like $5 million to really get this to 20 episodes as an example, or is it the opposite, that you're bootstrapping this? And
so, $5 million, that's like old Hollywood. That's like 20 years ago. It's not that anymore. But so if you're doing budgets like that, you're going to lose, because content's being created every day, all the time. So you want to be in a cost-effective budget in order to actually turn a profit. But we, like I said, we do sponsorship, which is how I started my company, was sponsorship only. So we were always in the black. I didn't raise money until I opened the Dining Empire, which is now my parent company on top of my different LLCs. But so once we started raising money, was to build the app out and infrastructure and different things that we needed to grow. But yeah, listen, it's a fun world when you're in the raising capital and then problem solving, and then you got to test waters and throw 20 grand at this and 30 grand at that and try to make sure your returns make sense. And then you have hiccups and challenges and delays. And I tell everybody, I think the biggest thing I've been talking about lately, and somebody reminded me yesterday, man, I tried what you said and it really worked. It's about calming your nervous system, because it gets so stressful and you think all what's going to go wrong and all the problems and all the things. And you have to really just stay focused. I do a lot of frequency music. I go to bed with frequency music. I walk on the beach, do 5 miles on the beach to just breathe, because I have a very stressful job. It's high energy, a lot of crazy moving parts and a lot of wild people. So you have to be able to really stay focused and stay grounded through all of these things in order to be able to think clearly to get through to the next level.
What's your experience been building out an app and dealing with the app stores and that whole scenario? I'm sure Jason's curious too.
Of course.
Yeah, your app is definitely more robust than mine. But I focus more on the distribution. But obviously with content, people want to watch on their phones. So the app is really great for that. But it was challenging. I built my first app actually 3 years ago, and that was the Dining Divas app. And then that was a bust. I mean, it took a year to build, and the guy in the Bahamas and this and that, and just challenges on challenges and problems. And so I scratched that app. I said, I'm starting from scratch. I'm getting rid of it. And I got rid of it, and I started over with the Dining Empire app. Now this one is great. I love it. And so we're really focused on building this out to be where you can not only watch the shows, but purchase the things you see on the shows right in the app. Is the next phase of our build out, and some other cool features that we're working on. So, but it's a lot of work.
And what's the hottest show you're working on right now that you're really pumped about getting out to the public?
The Combat Brothers. So I've been with the celebrity boxing for 15 years. I actually fought in celebrity boxing against a mob wife. I trained for 10 weeks. It was super fun. I also co-hosted with Flavor Flav for the Black China fight. And I've done a lot of different press conferences and stuff for them. So I got the contract with them to do their show, and everybody wants their show. So that was a really big deal for us. So we're raising money right now for that, because it's bare knuckle fighting, which is the biggest, fastest growing organization in combat sports in the world, right under UFC. And then that's his brother. And then Damon, who I've been working with for 15 years, owns Celebrity Boxing and X Rumble. They're a year apart. They're like Philly boys, and they've got a gritty past, and they are always pranking each other. You think these two very successful men in business, and they're like little kids behind the scenes. So I'm really excited to bring their story to life and just to show who they are as people. It'll be fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that does sound like a lot of fun. You want to take some questions from the audience, Jason?
Yeah, let's do it. If you're a student sitting in and want to ask Christine a question, form a line right here, introduce yourself, and fire away while we're waiting on them to come and join. Recently I actually was at Aspire Tour, and I saw you speaking there. Can you speak to just now you have an other side where people want you to publicly speak about your journey, and how that's a whole new extension, right? Where you get to meet people. Sometimes you even get paid, of course. So kind of speak to that for a bit.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's great when you realize, you look back at how far you've come, and you see all the challenges and obstacles. And sometimes people will come up to me and remind me of something I did that I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot I did that. And I'm like, wow, you know what? Because you get stuck in this, you're always trying to get to the next thing, and you forget how far you've come. So I think the speaking has really opened up my eyes to reminding myself, hey, Christine, you've overcome 100% of all the challenges and obstacles you've ever had, right? And that's something you should be proud of. And that way you can look forward on what's going to be the next challenge and obstacle, because they're always coming. I don't care what level you get to, you're always going to have issues and problems and things you have to figure out and work through. So I think the speaking has been great, because I just get to continue to relive some of the things that I've done and get to encourage and inspire other people.
And what is the hardest challenge in business that you ever overcame? And while she's answering that, please come up. Come on, we want to get a line of students. Kevin's going to give you guys all extra credit, and you get a Celsius. Come up and ask a question.
Better get that Celsius, boy.
Exactly, $3 a can. Back in our day, we'd be running up there.
So wait, what was the question again? With the hardest thing?
Just the hardest thing in business. We always remember that one time where we couldn't hit payroll and we were about to go under, or a lawsuit landed on your desk, or something. There's I've got so many nightmares that I know I've been through running, my journey with Owl, or as a financial service professional, or this show right here, even the Shrimp Tank. We've had our fair share of issues, of course, along the way.
Well, I'll tell you, I have so many. So let me just give one. And you mentioned lawsuit. I was like, that's a great one. And so when you think about my pivot from the Jello Shot Girls and what I was doing there into what I'm doing now, everything happens for a reason. Sometimes in the midst of it, you feel like, oh my God, my whole world is crashing. Everything is going wrong. But it's really just a redirection because there's something bigger ahead for you. I had gotten a lawsuit in the mail about the Jello Shot Girls saying that we were responsible for someone's death, which is insane. It was really Blue Martini Boca back in the day. They were a little ghetto. And they they had this bottle customer, and you pour your own drinks, and the guy was partying and doing stupid things, and the Jello Shot Girls had nothing to do with it. And he wrapped himself around a tree, and the family tried to sue Blue Martini, and then tried to put it on us. It never went to court, and it all got dropped because it was not real. But at the end of the day, I lost my account overnight, and Blue Martini was my number one client. I put all my eggs into that basket, and I had all 5 accounts, and I had like 5 days a week at all of them. So all my girls lost their jobs. I had to sell everything at a 2,000 square foot warehouse and sold everything. I didn't know. I was just like stumped. But if it wasn't for that happening, and even though it wasn't right and wasn't fair, I would have continued to do that because it was easy, right? It was easy, and I needed a challenge. And now I was like, hey, time to pivot, reinvent myself. And then I started Dining Divas. So now I'm doing huge projects, so everything works out for you in the end, and you just have to trust that that was meant to happen for a reason.
And Blue Martini got me as well. The one place ever in my life where my phone was robbed from me was Blue Martini.
Really? The Boca one? Because the Boca one was trouble.
I left my phone down for a second. It was a brand new phone. So, when you have new items, you buy accidentally, like, you're not used to like putting it away as much. And I put it on a table, turned around, it was gone.
Yeah.
Never got that phone back.
So I have a question about IP. What mistakes do you see young founders make with IP, and what should we protect early when building a creative brand?
Oh, absolutely. That's one thing I do put money into is my legal and my IP. So obviously, making sure you get your intellectual property trademarked right away is important. And you can also, always hire a lawyer to do it. Don't try to do it yourself. I know a lot of people that try to do it themselves and they don't do it right. And if you have slogans and all those things, you should trademark them too. If they're really like special and they're going to make a big difference in your branding, you definitely want to get those trademarked as well. And then, grabbing all the social medias, that's super important, because I had people that like I've talked about a project with, they went and grabbed social medias that were my ideas. So I definitely grab all the social medias, grab the domains, the domains are cheap. Buy all of them. I buy diningdivastv.com, diningdivas.tv, as many different versions of it as you can, even if you're not going to use them, or you can always direct all of them to one site anyway. So that's a good question.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's something we'll talk about throughout this course, right? Is the 5 types actually of intellectual property that are particularly relevant for any founder.
Yes. And something I made a mistake on my first brand is too long of a name, right? It doesn't fit in social media icons, so be very careful.
Hi there, my name is Anthony Ferraro. Nice to meet you. I was wondering, how much money are you raising for the bare knuckles, and do you have a term sheet?
That's a great question. So right now we are doing sponsorship. However, if a investor wanted to, I could definitely create a term sheet for them, and I'm sure the guys would be open to doing an investor. So if you want to talk about that, we can.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you so much.
Okay. Our final segment of the show. Kevin, you have any questions you want to ask Christine?
Yeah, absolutely. You've got a whole bunch of young aspiring college students in front of you today as part of their entrepreneurship class here at Florida Atlantic University. What advice do you have for them, whether it relates to being a founder or not? Maybe just kind of life advice, something that you were told or figured out along the way that you think would benefit our students.
Absolutely. Always bring value. I mean, one thing I tell people, like, if you have to fight over, I see people fight over equity and fight over this and fight over that in the beginning phases of something. I think if you're working with good quality people and you bring value always, when you go to ask for something, they are clear enough to see your value and they're going to offer. Like, I've actually given away equity in my company to multiple people that didn't even ask me for it because they did something valuable enough and I kept seeing them show up properly. So I always say show up. And if that happens and you do show up for someone they don't, that's your sign to get out. Like, okay, this person doesn't get it. They're not on board with me and I want to put my time and energy somewhere else, and take all your lessons and your blessings and move to another project where you feel valued and seen and heard.
I think that's great advice. And I see a little bit of that with some of our founders and ventures where they struggle about equity, but I encourage everyone to adopt the same approach. It sounds like you do. That is, create a bigger pie by bringing the right people in and giving them incentives rather than just a bigger piece of the pie for one person or another.
I'll say 100% of a grape is bigger than 10% of a watermelon, right? So,
yeah, absolutely.
Let's talk about relationships for a moment, right? You and I met through a relationship, right? And then we finally met at an event, and now we hosted a Zoom together, and now you're on the shrimp tank. And I sense that trend with you, right? From the Jello Shot Company, you mentioned earlier in the show how all those contacts still continued, right, as you kept expanding your journey as an entrepreneur. So can you just speak to just how important it is not to burn relationships, how important it is to follow through, right? If you have a meeting, if you have a call with somebody, it's not just law of large numbers. I think a lot of entrepreneurs get that wrong. They're like, well, I can just do another post, and if I don't respond, then whatever, there's a million people that will eventually do stuff with me. But often that's not true, right? South Florida is quite smaller than people realize in the entrepreneurship community. Like everywhere I go, then I'm like, you are connected to everyone, in some circle. I've noticed if I'm at an event like the airport event where there was a venture capitalist company doing that, then I went to Aspire Tour, and then we're connected there. So before you know it, like it's so important, all these relationships, and really just be genuine with everyone and bite your tongue often, right? So can you just speak to relationships and just cycling through the last 10, 15 years of your journey, for example?
I mean, it gets crazier than that. So, I mean, I go all over the world, and literally the first time I've ever even went to Massachusetts, I run into somebody I know in the VIP room at a nightclub. I'm like, what are the chances? Then I was just in Roatan this weekend, and I run into two people I know, one from Canada, one from California, and one from Florida, at two different public places in an island of Roatan. Like, it's just the top 10% of people are all connected. It's a very small world. And I'm just a small area down here. It is a small world. I mean, I move around New York, California, I'm in Texas, I'm all over, and I'm always running into people I know, because we're all movers and shakers of the top 10%. You've got a huge portion of people that all they do is work 9-to-5 jobs. They're working at McDonald's, they're working at Walmart. Those people are not in that space. The people that are in the space of moving around, making deals flow, they all know each other. And it runs really deep, your reputation really fast if you make bad moves. So relationships are everything. And look, there's also going to be times when people have disagreements and they say this and they say that, and they're going to go and they're going to talk, and you have to be a bigger person and just not speak about it. Or if you do have to speak on it, you keep it really high level and you try not to gossip. I tell people all the time, like, don't gossip, because it's not going to take you far, in life. And people are going to remember that all you did was talk bad about somebody instead of say, you know what, misunderstanding, but that, we don't agree, and that's what it is, and you move on. But relation and execution, if you're executing, people are going to believe you anyway, because you're getting things done, so focus all your energy on getting things done, being a good person, and building healthy relationships where like you communicate well.
Yeah, you nailed it. It's so important. I see that as a misunderstanding lots of times with newer entrepreneurs. Often I get asked to work with a lot of creators, actually, with Owl App or even the Shrimp Tank, and often there's a misunderstanding, and there's a lot of folks not following through, like missed meetings, missed agreements, or like, okay, you're going to do this and that, and then they don't do it, but they're like, not a big deal. I'm like, but that's what we agreed upon. And often people wonder why business leaders like us end up wanting to work with people who have a lot more experience is for that reason, right? Yes. And eventually they learn, and some people understand, of course, not everybody, but it happens quite commonly. And I think these relationships are so important today, and social media sometimes waters it all down. It's very saturated. And people watch these TikTok videos or YouTube shorts, and they're like, oh, well, he told me to do that, and she said to do it that way, and that's all obviously edited videos. And in the real world, it's not how it often really ends up being like, of course.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I mean, it's funny. I've hired TikTok or not TikTok. I hired Instagram influencers, had 1 million followers each for an event, and not one person showed up for them. I had like 50 people in the room. So I was like, okay, so that sometimes influencers are not really influential. They can't actually drive a sale. They can't actually drive people to show up somewhere. So, some of the best promoters, they don't even have social media, but they'll get 500 people to come to a nightclub. You know what I mean? So your influence is by, how much people respect you too.
I absolutely agree. My last question of the day is internships, right? We have all audience here, and something that I know Kevin and I always speak about is they struggle to find internships. And then, of course, careers when they graduate, right? There's certain programs on the internet and they feel like they're applying all the time. From your background, do you do internships, for example? Is that something you're curious about?
I've been talking about this for a while and I
Yeah.
need to do it, but I didn't even know where to start and I just keep forgetting to do it. So do you want to help me out? What's
Kevin?
Is that what we're doing here?
Absolutely. Yeah. If you want to build out an internship program, we can start right here at Florida Atlantic. That's easy.
Okay, awesome. Love it. Let's do it.
Yes. And something I'm proud to announce is with the OWL app, all these students have it, is they're going to message you actually in the next couple of days. If you're in the audience right now and you want an internship, just send her a DM. But also starting next week, we're actually going to list seeking an internship right on the home screen of the OWL app. And we are starting the first OWL College Brand Ambassador program because we have 2 interns that were in the shrimp tank last semester.
Nice.
And they're working with the OWL brand. And I asked them like, what's going on with students? And we came to the conclusion that they really want experience through internships. So each and every one of our guests on the shrimp tank, if we know that they're looking for an intern, right? Why not? Let's bring students up live on air, talk about it, and really bridge that connection, of course. So
Yeah.
we're excited.
I think we can create some value right here. And if you're out there listening, watching, be sure to keep an eye out for the entrepreneurship ecosystems, events, and activities. We've got a packed spring semester networking event tomorrow night for founders, mentors, business owners. And then from there, like I said, we kick off that new program, the boot camp, the business pitch competition.
Awesome.
This is the last week to get those applications in, and then we'll have our innovation celebration in April. That's going to be a wild time. So stay tuned.
Nice. Christine, last thing is if people want to reach out to you, what are your handles on social media? And, of course, we want a lot of people to reach out to you and opportunities to flow your way.
Absolutely. You can find me at Christine Curran pretty much on every platform. And I've got ChristineCurran.com. That gives a lot of my history. And then Dining Empire is our app in the Google Apple Play Store. So you can watch some of the shows that we're working on currently and some of our past episodes.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us here on the Shrimp Tank. Everybody listening, we'll be back next week at 1:00. Take care.